places, seen a lot of faces. Oh, hell, I even fucked with different races. A white dude, his name was John. He had a Queen Bee Rules tattoo on his arm. He asked me if I'd be his day for the prom, and he'd buy me a horse, a Porsche, and a farm. Bam, and from down south, used to like me to spank him and come in his mouth. And Thorny, he was a thousand. He didn't give a fuck, that's what I liked about him. He ate my pussy from dark to the morning. Pulled this girl up and told her we was boning. Puerto Rican Bobby used to be a deacon, but now he be sucking me off on the weekend. And this black dude I called King Kong, he had a big ass dick and a hurricane tongue. This goes out to my niggas in jail, beating they dicks to the double XL magazine. You like how I look in the aqua green? Get your Vaseline, roll some weed with some tissue and close your eyes, and imagine your tongue in between my thighs. Open up your self-esteem. Alright, that's it. Stop looking, listen, get back to your position. Kim got your dick hard, started fights in the yard.
Hotter than a pop top, fresh out of the toaster. Niggas do anything for a little Kim poster.
Essays, Bloods, Crips, all the thugs up north in the hole. They all wanna go. Driving in the street, hold on to your seat. Niggas grab your meat while I ride the beat. And if you see a shiny black Lamborghini fly by, that's me the night rider, dressed in all black with the gat in the lap. Lunatics in the street, gotta keep the heat. 60 on the bezel, 100 on the ring. Sitting pretty baby with a cash money blaze. 12 a.m. I'm on my way to the club. After 3 bottles, I'll be ready to fuck. Some niggas even put me on the grocery list.
Right next to the whipped cream and the box of chocolate. Design the pussy, my shit come in flavors.
High class taste, niggas
Got to spend paper.
Nigga right the first time when you gotta do it over.
Like it's rehearsal for a Tootsie commercial. How many does it take to get to this? Hey, what's going on, Conscious Crew? I'm in a little Kim kind of a mood. No. Shout out to, I don't know the company's name, baby. But when I go to give a nasty review, girl, I will properly shout out these face shields. Okay? Wonderful company, girl. Sent the doll. Or nasty Trinity set, girl, in clear, black, and rainbow. These motherfuckers are sickening, girl. Everywhere I go, the hoes ish want me to sign and autograph their titties and shit, girl. So, all of that. Now, I'm going to try not to be here too long with you guys tonight. I just got a burst of inspiration when I saw, or I was sent this post by a Conscious Crew member. They was following, I think it was the Shade Room over on Instagram, and they had dropped this Remy Ma statement that was made by her in a recent interview, which ironically was in sync with the conversation that we all was just having about Nicki Minaj and Cardi and writing music and Megan and all of this ish. So we're going to keep the continuity moving here. And I want to talk about this Remy Ma statement because I think the statement kind of opens up an entire dialogue about art and artistic expression and what we consider to be, or what defines an artist even, hell, okay? So we're going to get into all of that. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and drop the link, honey. Should I drop the link now or should I wait? I think I'm going to go ahead and drop the link now. You guys can definitely come up, girl. I'll give you the origin story and everything. Mods in the building. Hey, everybody. What's going on, Mods? Hey, Aaron. Wow. What's going on, Boo? What's going on, Loving Other Problems? Hey, Nicki. Hey, Latasha. Hey, Miss Denelle. What's going on, Mods? I can't see everybody in the stream. However, I'm going to run this old nasty intro. But before we do so, please give me an old nasty thumbs up. Y'all know what to do. Okay? Y'all wasn't born yesterday, girl. Give me thumbs up. This helps with YouTube's algorithm. It helps YouTube to recommend and suggest the content. What's going on, TV? It helps them to suggest the content to other unsuspecting YouTube patrons, okay? And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe because if I like it, bitch, you're going to motherfucking love it. That's just on period. Share, and everybody need to make sure that their notification bell is set to all. Hey, Auntie Trishy, what's going on? Will Isaiah, what's going on, y'all? So let's run this old nasty piece of intro, girl. Let's get into it. I got some church announcements to make, and then we're going to get into our topic for tonight.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So, child, we already got folk in the backdrop. I see my boo Aaron done jumped up. I see my boo Tremel done jumped up. So before I let everybody come in, let me just make some church announcements really quick, okay? First of all, the Yes God Round Table that I usually do on Sundays at 8 is canceled. So we will not be going live tomorrow night, but I will be live with you guys tomorrow night, depending on how this hand tattoo works out. I'm getting all the smudge dragged down to my fingers. So we're doing that tomorrow. It's going to be fucking insane. And oh, that's about it, girl. So let me go ahead and pull up. First of all, let me go ahead and bring my folk up here. What's going on, Aaron?
Hi, Conscious. This is my first time up here.
Yes, finally, child. You've been a Conscious crew member for a minute, so I'm happy to have you here. I am very curious about what your thoughts are regarding the subject. It sounds like you got a lot to say. Before you do, can you just tell the people where they can find you? Because you also are a content creator here and over on Bigo.
Yes. That's my channel, as you know, on my thing, Aaron Wilds Out TV. You can find me on Instagram at Aaron_Wilds Out with a Z, not an S. I'm on TikTok, Bigo. I'm not really on Bigo no more because I don't have time for the hyenas and the foolery and the fool-la-la. Yeah, I got better things to do, you know.
Amen. I bet. Yeah. That Bigo space is raw, Aaron. I don't even know how y'all do it over there. It's raw over there.
So
it reminds me like a very interactive, like a visual version of Twitter. Like Twitter can be very dark and sinister. And they get down and get down over on Bigo. So shout out to you. How long has it been since you have not been on Bigo?
It's been good. I'm really trying to grow my channel and really trying to put out more content and be consistent. This is the most consistent I've ever been, and I actually love it.
Amen.
You know, you can literally find me anywhere on these YouTube streets. You know, I live for you. I live for your chat. Shout out to the chat. Love y'all. Yeah.
And we love you too. As you guys know, it's Aaron Wilds Out TV on YouTube. Mods, if you guys can please put Aaron's link. It is the name of his screen name here. It's the name to his platform. So can we just put that in rotation a little bit so folk know where they can find Aaron? They can go over and support my boo. I also want to introduce somebody who I'm sure is also not new to Aaron. He damn sure not new to me. Mr. G Status, season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hey, Tremel.
Hey, Aaron.
Hi.
Hey, Conscious. Now
Girl, I
listen.
know you suffering from a lot of whorism last night and alcoholism, and you got an old nasty hangover, but I'm happy you could join us.
Oh yeah, I had to step on through because you're talking my jam right now.
Yes. Now, I definitely wanted that. I personally had reached out to you because you are an artist, and so I wanted to definitely get your take on what you think about statements like this by Miss Remy Ma and by okay, hold on, somebody's in my house, but I know who that is, and Miss Nicki Minaj, who have echoed this penmanship, and it's not just the female rappers. There's a lot of male rappers as well who are very much so into solidifying artistry and real talent in music, especially as an artist, to your ability to write and cultivate a song. So we're
Right.
going to get into all of that depth, and I want to introduce also my boo, TV. What's going on, love?
Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hey,
Hi.
Aaron. This is my first time talking to you on the actual screen. Hey, boo.
Hi.
Oh,
See
you and
on TCB.
Aaron.
I always see him on TCB, so I'm like, oh shit! I finally see Aaron first time on screen.
We got a lit panel, okay?
Hey, what's up?
We got professional commentators up on the panel today, so I'm excited for this. And hey, keeping up, Queen, tell us what's going on, boo. Make sure y'all also support my. This is a little bit of everybody in the motherfucking building. I'm gonna drop the stream again, the stream link for those of you who want to participate. Just hit the motherfucking link and sound the fuck off, okay? Now, let me go ahead and run this Remy Ma statement so you guys can see what I'm talking about, okay? And shout out to the Shade Room for the post, and shout out to the Conscious crew member who definitely came through with the receipt. I'm working. Yes. What's going on? What's going on?
Whatever you had, or whatever, $2. I need.
Okay, I'll holler at you. So this is the post right here, and the statement is from That's So King Media at Remy Ma. Says it's not important for female rappers to write their own lyrics. I'm gonna just keep it cute, child. What y'all thoughts on this? Remy Ma replies and says, "For all the dummies, I write all of my music. I'm a writer for myself and others. Unfortunately, bozos made it so that writing is no longer important for women or men. Hence, why any and everybody thinks they're an artist. LOL. That's the sad facts. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at those with ghost writers." Okay. So, Aaron, what are your initial thoughts? Have you seen this tweet?
Yes. I've been following it because I love Remy. Not a lot of people like Remy because of the whole Nicki Minaj fiasco years ago that they really need to let go at this point. Is really redundant and very loser. But I agree because I feel like Remy has said it in the interview that she was talking about the industry of today. These microwavable artists that comes into the game and just want to blow up and not work for it. They just want to be handed a song and blow up. They want to get to the fast rise to fame. Like they want that. They want the fame, they want the notoriety, they want the accolades. So I just feel like she's right.
Okay.
But the whole scheme of things of female rappers, she writes, I feel, there's many female artists that, don't push their pen and don't write. And I feel like we shouldn't judge them. But, not everybody thinks the same. Everybody's going to have their opinion. And I feel like, we just have to respect her opinion. That's basically how I feel about it.
Well, we're going to debate it into the earth, Aaron. We're going to debate it down today. So I hope you're ready. I think that my boost service done dropped him off. I done told everybody about this boost mobile service, baby. It don't work well for the StreamYard. You I got to upgrade to the Verizon, honey. What's saying, honey? I am Tremel. Are you there?
Yeah.
What do you think about this initial statement? Like, do you agree with Remy that penmanship is foundational to being a rapper, being an artist? That's one of the fundamentals of defining yourself as an artist, is your ability to write music.
I feel like that there is some validity to what she's saying. At the same time, there are all kinds of artists at the end of the day, and there are some artists who cannot fully formulate, a good song, to be honest. Now, I ain't even gonna hold you up, and they still are great artists. Like Beyonce doesn't write hardly, majority of her stuff is co-written by other people. You know what I'm saying? So it takes people, a team, to make songs for certain artists, if that makes sense. But what I think she's also doing is she also shooting her own self in the foot. It's just like, sweetie, you talking about ghostwriters and you saying you ghost written for people. Like, if they can make the songs pop and you can't, what does that say about you? For real, for real.
I mean, but honestly, she's getting to that bag because she get paid for it. So why not?
I mean, definitely, if you're getting paid for it, like, I would love to ghostwrite for some people, but I'm also not gonna like spit up in their face like, you ain't no real artist, but I'm gonna write for you though.
Okay, well, before y'all get into the tomato throwing, I just want to get everybody's initial thoughts, and then y'all can tell each other the blood, honey. Okay, so you don't necessarily agree with that.
I said to an extent. Like, I feel like the best artists are people who definitely can create their own, and because it's
You feel like
definitely
those
always
are the best type of artists?
Who?
Are the people who can create their own are the best type of artists?
Am I that type of artist, or
No,
saying?
I'm reiterating what you said, that you do believe that the best, BEST.
Oh yes, I believe the best type of artists are definitely the ones who can create their own and are their own machine, like write all of their own music and like still are able to sell.
Okay. Okay, so hold that thought. What are your initial thoughts regarding this Remy Ma statement? Do you believe that writing is what makes a artist an artist?
I agree with Tramel in the sense that we're now in a day and age where writing your own shit makes it good, makes you the artist, but there's so many ghostwriters out here now, and a lot of people, just let somebody do everything for them and are doing just making the lyrics and speaking it. Does it matter at this point? Not really. But Ray Ma kind of contradicted herself saying that it's better you write your own stuff, but you ghostwrite. So I don't like the fact that it's like a catch-22. Is it better you write it or should I write it for you?
Okay. Are you in a car or something? I think he is in motion. Okay. You just say it right there, We got and I want to welcome Lady T and Yusuf to the platform. Hello. You guys are coming up next. I want to, matter of fact, soon as Refuse to Lose, my boo, my mod.
Yeah,
are you there, love?
Yes.
Okay. So just tell me your initial thought, because I know that we're gonna have a whole discussion and get into the minutia of this. But what are your initial thoughts? Do you agree or disagree with Remy Ma about writing?
I agree because I believe that a lot of people that a lot of people that do have ghostwriters, haven't written anything for themselves. And so I feel like if you have a ghostwriter and you can write, then you got a double win. And also, I don't know if you guys heard on it.
We can definitely hear this old pit bull sounding off in the background.
I'm moving him. He don't like me talking to nobody. I also watched the interview over at Lady Luck's with Remy Martin. And one of the things that Remy did mention was, the importance of being able to write. Also that, a lot of times we don't even know people have ghostwriters, and that she is interested to write in further and a lot more for other people.
Okay. Do you feel like...
I believe that, from being an old school, I say old school because I'm 50. So being like an old school rapper, things were different then. But now with this new light, it takes a team. And if that means somebody writing for you, then that's what it is. So I think she's accepting it now that she's older.
Okay. Hold that thought and mute that background. Lady T, I know you are here, Boo. What are your initial thoughts? I didn't see the interview that Refuse to Lose just mentioned, but I did watch an interview. I forgot what the platform is, but she was sitting in like a barbershop with a bunch of dudes, and they were talking about
yeah,
writing.
Mac Hoffa. That interview you're talking about is Mac Hoffa. He's a battle rapper, and it's called My Expert Opinion.
My Expert Opinion.
So it was, yeah, and so that's where that I don't know if that was a tweet or the Shade Room or something. It was a comment in the Shade Room, I believe, that you just showed, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where that came from, because she was basically saying that she doesn't think there's anything wrong with it, and they were really surprised by it, because they're like, "But wait a minute, you write?" She said, "Now, yeah, I do write. I write for me and other, and other rappers." And it was like, "And you think that it's okay?" And she was like, "Yeah." And then they was like, "Well, should they be allowed in like anyone's top 5?" Yeah, absolutely. But she was basically kind of saying that it's still a talent to be able to deliver the lines a certain way. And I guess also she's gonna say she thinks it's okay because she want to get that money that she's making ghostwriting, or whatever she's doing as far as that's concerned. So I don't think she's gonna speak down on it when it's a check. So, but I think she was just trying to reiterate, like, yeah, even though I'm okay with it, don't try me. I write, So that's just my thought.
Her and Nicki kind of share the same energy about that writing thing. Like, know your lane as a non-writing asshole.
Yeah, can I expand?
Yes, Aaron.
Can I expand on what Lady T was saying? Also, she stated in that same interview that the reason why that it's okay to put the people that have the ghostwriter and needs a little bit more help, because she used Drake for example. You know that Drake writes his stuff, but he has gotten to a level where he don't have to do that. He has several different producers, several different talented songwriters that's coming up and wants a chance in giving Drake something, like a hit. So it's okay for Drake, who is a very big rapper and a very mainstream rapper, to give this man a song to a potential hit, so he can, so it can be lucrative for that songwriter, because they got his stuff. So that I think that's where she elaborated on about that whole top 5 and how artists who have a ghostwriter can be in the top 5.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, that was a wonderful addition. Yusuf, what are your initial thoughts on Remy Ma's statements? That the pen is where your credibility and talent is as an artist.
Absolutely. First of all, hello to everybody in the chat. Good. You look great as usual. You always look so prantsome.
You know what? Did you say prantsome?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Thank you, Bo.
But this
welcome to the platform.
Thank you. And so she's making that thing about her experience as an artist and based off of her skill set. So she's completely right in her lane, you see? And writing is a skill set. A fully developed artist actually is a writer, but it doesn't take away or set limitations on those who are not. You see, because it's all a collective effort. Once you get the whole machine behind you, it's a whole well-oiled team. So a good writer, just like Refuse to Lose said, even a good writer will have another team of writers, because that's what writers do. You surround yourself with the greatness of whoever and whatever you are. You see? And so if you're a good writer and that's a part of your artistic abilities and skill set, then that's just something that you're true to. She's also possibly it's like, you got to be the best at what you can do. And so she's just a little territorial about that, especially with the people who come up and, they act like they're not writer. They act like they're writing their songs, but really it's a ghostwriter, or then it's the ghostwriter who doesn't get all the credit. And then it's people who shady behind the scenes. It makes the artist feel disgruntled. Someone like a pinstress such as Remy Ma. So that'll make her feel offended seeing the game moving around her. and you know what I'm saying, it kind of lights a fire under you. So in the same way, being a devil's advocate, I see that as her being inspirational and motivating herself.
Yeah. Okay. Those were wonderful initial thoughts. Morgan D in the chat said, technically speaking, would a person be a rapper if they don't write their own rap, or would they just be a performer? So what would y'all call someone who, like, for those who believe that if you don't write, you ain't no motherfucking rapper, then what are we calling those who rap but don't write? Because Trina also doesn't write the majority of her music. She didn't even write for Anejo at all. And Trina is, to me, like, I've heard Trina spit, especially, like, she goes hard on her features. And there's one particular feature between her and Wipe Me Off. I don't know who is the rapper.
Lil Woozy or something? Wobby or something? Wobby?
I think it is Wobby or some shit. It's a Wipe Me Off remix. When I tell y'all, Trina fucking murked on this track. I mean, this bitch, I ain't heard a female rapper slaughter like that in a long time. And I'm like, clearly for me, talent has to come down to something much more. Like, it has to be more subjective and ambiguous than a black and white, because you also have to have the talent to execute what's written, and we know that everybody cannot spit. We know everybody can't write, and we also know everybody can't spit. If we all tried to rap some of the shit, we sound like crap, because it actually takes talent as well to be an executor of written music. What are y'all thoughts about that?
I would say a performer. They would be classified as a performer, entertainer, you know.
Memorizer, reiterator. I'm just
You ate
I
it.
agree.
Oh my fucking.
I agree, because I feel like you could have the dopest writer there is, but if you off, then you can't possibly deliver it how it should be delivered.
A perfect example for me is, have y'all been watching Queens?
No.
Off and on.
That Latina girl, she can't, like, clearly they're all being written for, but for some reason, you know, when Brandy's doing it, it's believable. When Notori's doing it, it's believable. Of course, when Remy and Eve is doing it, it's believable because they're actual rappers. But then every time I get to that Latina one, she tries with all her might to do it, but it's just not believable. Like, she's not giving me like
she's
Angie
weird.
Martinez.
She's weird when she performs. Yeah, she's weird when she's performed. And actually, Remy is actually a writer on Queens.
Wow. Ironic.
Right. So I don't know. It doesn't come off correct. So I do believe that performing it does require a certain amount of skill, because not everyone can do it. And, you know, we've watched plenty of movies where they're clearly, you know, reciting lyrics and stuff, like, or rhymes or whatever. And it's believable, you know. But it's just not.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
We know the song Lean Back, and we know the song All the Way Up, right?
Yes.
On both those songs, Remy actually wrote her verses. Do you think that if somebody else had did that part, they would have delivered it the same way?
So that actually is kind of in connection to the question that I'm asking, because you can be a great writer and not have the talent to perform. Like, everybody can't drip as a performer. Everybody doesn't have that hit factor as the executor. I think that talent has to go in both directions. Like, there are plenty of people who write these musics, just like the songwriters. Whitney Houston don't write her own music. Shanice Wilson, or Shanice, those of you may probably know her from I Love Your Smile, When I Close My Eyes.
Love her.
She doesn't write any. I mean, she hardly writes. I mean, she doesn't write a lot of her music, and the bitch is a vocal. I'm talking about Mariah Carey. I'm talking about, like, using her upper register illegally. Like, just, this bitch can fucking sing with dolphins and whales and shit. Like, she can communicate ethereally from her voice.
Now she got a sonar throat.
A sonar throat, period. And so I'm like, there doesn't talent have to go both ways?
Yes. Yes. And also when someone, like you said, one person could be a great vocalist and a person could be a great writer. And some people only have one talent that it takes to make it there. It doesn't mean that their talent doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Some people have multiple talents. And it's always a good thing to extend that grace and to mentor other artists coming up under you, to be there and support. People don't have a sense of together and camaraderie anymore in music either. And that takes the fun out of it, because when you see someone and you know you're a great writer and you've been trying and you've been working on your vocals for years, and you see somebody that's perfect to sing one of the songs that you can write, don't be a hater.
Because to T-Talk with Shaw's point, you cannot write something but still feel a connection to it and perform the hell out of it. The reason that I know that statement is fundamentally flawed is because when nobody's looking and we all turn our favorite music on, we show our motherfucking ass in the dark. We are all fans of music because we can take someone else's art, someone else's lyrics, and it resonates powerfully with us. Music has been life-changing to consumers of music. It's really converted people to being Christian and Muslim or just being a fucking hoe. Like, music is transformative in that way. So certainly if we as consumers know how engaged we are with the music we love and how connected we feel and how much passion comes out of us when our favorite song come on in the car or come on in the church or the choir gets to singing whatever they singing on Sunday. So why would this not be the case for a rapper or a singer who has not written the music but can still perform it beautifully and can even perform it in a way and make it their own?
I got a question.
Connect with the poetry of the paper. Yes.
So, okay, so this is really a question for the panel. Like, there was a song that Alicia Keys wrote, and I know y'all heard this. I ain't got If I Ain't Got You. That was she originally tried to give that to Christina Aguilera, right? But her manager told her that she should keep it for herself. Do you think that Christina would have sang it better or performed it better or made it hotter than
you talking
Alicia
about Some People Want It All?
Yeah.
But if you could remember at that time, Christina was a bigger artist at that time.
No, my answer is no. I had to think about it. No.
I'm going to say maybe because
and see, as a writer, as a good writer, it's a difference between a writer and a good writer. A good writer has songs that pour out of their fingertips for more than just themselves. In my opinion.
I mean, and then sometimes people write with people's.
No, I was like, I feel like it's just to be determined. Because we're not gonna like play Christina like Christina can't sing and cannot deliver amazing song.
She sings better than Alicia Keys, but she couldn't. I don't think she would have did Alicia Keys' song the way that Alicia experienced it better.
You know what? The only reason I'm going to say I think she could have is because on Christina's Diary album, her and Alicia Keys actually collaborated. I forgot the name of the song, but man, they sung their fucking life out, and Christina held her motherfucking own.
I think it was called Impossible.
Impossible. Christina is like that white girl that can do that black girl magic shit in terms of adding texture and sultriness to music. And so I think she could have held her own. But let's take another song, for example. Did you guys know that Rihanna's Umbrella was initially written for Mary J. Blige? Do y'all feel like Mary J. Blige could have pulled off Umbrella?
No.
Yes.
Over Rihanna?
No freaking shade. I love
Mary's president.
I love my Aunt Mary sound, but no, baby, no.
Well, hell, they had.
Wait. Nobody took a pause to really get into it, though.
I did
Mary was
actually like listen to the knowing how Umbrella sounds. No, I have to.
I think she could have
Y'all
did
know
it.
what Mary did do that I loved so much, and I know I hate to be petty. Lady T, you might know what I'm talking about, but that Burger King commercial is the classic for me.
No,
The way
Bob,
she
we
jumped
used to
up on that table.
like this.
Conscious, you know what I'm talking about?
No,
She jumped up on that
that was
table.
horrible. That was horrible. I cringed the whole time. I can't.
Fresh lettuce, 3 cheeses, ranch
No.
dressing, wrapped up in love.
Okay, Yusuf, you got a
No,
voice on you now.
Oh shit.
Period.
Oh.
So, but that's a prime example of like, and perfect example. Rihanna didn't write Umbrella, but but you would not think that based upon how much that bitch owned. Like she owned that song. It was almost it was divinely written for Rihanna, which is why ultimately it landed in her lap.
Do you think Britney Spears "Hit Me Baby One More Time" was divinely written for her?
Yeah,
because it was originally for TLC.
Right.
I think we're thinking about Umbrella, the point shoes. I think we're thinking about the point shoes and all that other stuff. We're not seeing Mary doing her little swing to the side under my umbrella.
No.
Y'all thinking about
anything off. I'm sorry. Mary can pull anything off. I'm sorry.
She can, but she ain't that type that'll even shelter nobody from the rain. She's running for herself. That don't even fit her character as a. She's so now. She's done sheltering niggas under umbrellas.
Mary J. Blige cannot sing.
Well,
no, Lord.
She got rhythm and soul.
She do.
With Mary,
well, she ain't got no rhythm because she can't dance either. But she got. So there's this running rumor that when Bad Boys found Mary, that it was actually off the heels of them, like their marketing scheme was taking people who have no talent and giving them talent. And apparently Mary J. Blige was one of those people in the lineup.
So she was never on Bad Boy.
Huh?
She was never on Bad Boy.
But I think she was a demo artist. She was a demo artist.
She was with Uptown Records with Father MC and all of them. So you talk about Puffy? No, she worked with Puffy as a producer. She was on Uptown Records with Andre Harrell.
Okay, got it.
But she worked with Puffy as a producer. And everybody, the big thing was like, how come she never went to Bad Boy? Because her whole entire first album was produced by Puffy, but she never went because they had like a beef or something like that. Something went down.
So that's what I mean.
I think that's what happened.
She was mad at Faith Evans.
So that was to Puffy's point, allegedly, that
why is her albums iconic?
Well,
I want to ask you that. Why is her music iconic? Is it because
I think that's to my point that
she's a performer. She can connect with people.
Yeah, that I mean. Go ahead, Tremaine. I want to work on something in my head.
I was just saying she's a performer. She can connect with people. Like Mary makes music for people. Like she don't make music that is just like you can't understand it. It's not something that the artist only feels themselves. She literally makes music for every hurt person on this planet. Well, like anybody who got a problem, she don't sing about it.
Like if your car about to get repossessed, if the water about to get cut off, if you ain't got milk for the baby,
more drama.
Well, she's definitely helped me through some rough times, and so I do love Mary J. Blige. I'm a big fan of hers. I think only because of her music was her life and things that she was going through, and so it was easy to do it because it was really happening with her.
Yeah.
What's in the crispy chicken wrap?
And no shade, we all.
There was a check in that crispy chicken wrap. She got paid for that.
Life, so it's like Mary is that My Life album is a good reference point to go back to when you're going through stuff and you just need that pick me up. So
I'm not one of those people. I can't listen to like downtrodden R&B and stuff like that when I'm in a breakup.
Struggle love.
I listen to Jay-Z and like cocky shit, like like I'm the baddest, whatever. I gotta listen to something like that when I'm in a breakup. Like if a dude ever comes in this house, I'm playing Jay-Z, I would suggest he walk clean, smooth out the door because I got something to talk about. We need to talk. We need to talk. Music.
I agree, Lady T, because when I was coming up in high school and me and my friends thought that we was the baddest bitches on campus and we had to get rid of a nigga, we didn't put on I'm So Sick of Love songs by Neo. We put on Kaya, Don't Trust No Nigga, Jealous Girls, Lick My Ass on My Crack, The Baddest Bitch. Like that was our transition music in relationships. Like shit that empowers you.
To listen to Mary.
It's important for people to be true to who they are and stay in their lane too, because when all these artists is good at this one thing and good at that one thing, and we can see that as the consumer, whether they're honest with themselves or not, it helps the next artist has the ingredients to pull bits and pieces to build the next artist. That's why I think it should be like, I wonder if people, especially our people, are even interested in the power dynamics behind all of this creative control that we could have based on how our talent is fueling the industry, but we're not running it. So, for instance, people who can write should want to write for people who can't write, just to be the ones not to get the credit, but to be a part of the backbone and the power structure of it all. You see, if an artist has really got some potential and trying, they should be able to take bits and pieces to build themselves up. So I think it is important when people's not too busy competing with each other and being themselves. My phone's ringing. Go ahead.
I think back when
hold on for 1 second. I just want to respond to Best of Grandma Soulful. I don't use Super Chat because YouTube takes 30% of Super Chat. So I have a Cash App, which is my channel name, Consciouztv, $Consciouztv, and a PayPal, paypal.me/Consciouztv. All the links are always in the description box, and they're on this banner that you see billowing across the screen at the bottom. But thank you in advance to Best of Grandma Soul Food Recipes. Was it you speaking, Aaron?
That was me.
Okay, go ahead, boo.
I think back in the days, it was more acknowledgement of who was doing the writing only because they had the album covers, they had the CDs. Now with all the promotion and stuff going on social media and you're limited to how much you can write, a lot of times people that are writing aren't displayed. That doesn't mean that it's not happening, but they have to put their importance out in order to catch the people's eye.
That's
true. It's kind of weird.
I'm sorry.
No, I would just want to say that it's kind of weird that people discredit artists who sometimes or who always have someone write their music, because writers in general would not exist, and they have a role, to Yusuf's point, like all the moving parts on the body. Like you need a producer. Only a producer can't do what a rapper does, but can do what a producer. Or sometimes they can, but producers produce, rappers rap, writers write. I think we're still sticking with an old school model for rap because a lot of poets initially were the rappers or the founding fathers of rap music. So we were accustomed to people having a genuine pen and writing from their heart, their own creativity, etc. But in this day and age,
it's hard to take them seriously.
Is what
it is hard for me to take them seriously. I think that there's certain, and honestly, I do remember people criticizing Whitney Houston at one point for not writing at all. I think that like when it was like the height of the Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, and them trying to create that rivalry, and it was like, okay, well, at least Mariah writes her own things. I do remember that argument being presented when it came to Whitney, and I am one of those people that is like more of a purist. I feel as if you should be able to write your own raps, if and that was the excuse for not being able to freestyle, because the true art of it was being able to freestyle. Okay, and then it was like, okay, well, they may not be able to freestyle, but they can write. Now you can't freestyle, you can't write. What are you doing?
They're making that money, baby.
I don't. So maybe it's just me because I'm also seeing the comments in the stream. I don't understand. Like people are saying,
the
like
authenticity is messed up. Like, so if you
like I understand because I was going to speak to that point, the authentic part, because those of us, like all of us, are lovers of music on this panel. Those of us who are in the stream are lovers of music, and we
In our
own,
own way.
and we all own and have possession of that music in the forms of an iTunes, an actual record, a CD, etc., because it resonates with us. What makes the consumer different from the singer who's singing a song not written by them, but that resonates with them, the same way that any other consumer is experiencing music that feels personal to them? When you look at any comment section, like for instance, one of my favorite new age artists is a mayonnaise woman by the name of Lana Del Rey. I literally am like, I don't fan out for too many mayonnaise people in general, but Lana Del Rey, I would like sell the ankle off of my second born child to be in this woman's presence. She is like my soul reincarnated as a white woman. And the music she writes is so fucking deep. Like when Lauryn Hill said he's stringing my pain with his fingers, Lana Del Rey is like manifesting my fucking thoughts and psychology and giving my emotions language and texture and expression. And I wouldn't even need to write that music. Like if I could sing, I would sing the fuck out of, like she would be my ghostwriter. And you would not be able to tell the difference between that shit being authentic to me and that shit being authentic to her, especially when what most writers are writing about are things that universally appeal to all people. Like if you wrote a sad song, it doesn't take you writing that sad song for you to resonate with the sadness of the song. Everybody can relate to
it's like the dance and the choreographer.
Or what it's like to be mistreated by someone, or what it's like to say goodbye to someone. Like, look at how people go up for Adele. I mean, like, so I'm just trying to figure out what's the difference. Like,
well, that is a difference between singing and rapping, because when you're a singer, of course, you can sing about love, and everybody's experienced love and heartbreak and, you know, just deep feelings. But when you're a rapper, you popping shit, like, bitch, that shit ain't real to you if you're not really writing it. That's
but
like,
but I gotta interject there.
Me too.
I gotta, and then I'm gonna let y'all get it. And welcome, Reckless. I was hoping you would join us. See, that I don't understand that, because when I say we all are consumers of music, that includes rap music. Like I turn on Nuck and Buck and I rap and will beat a bitch ass to that shit. And like we do it with rap music too. It don't take you writing that shit either to feel passionate about it, to resonate with it, and to be able to emulate it.
For whatever reason, it hit different when they actually would get Nuck and Buck with your ass, and they have.
Look at Nicki Minaj fans, like look at the motherfucking barbs in the front, like they going up. Look at every rap concert, the fans are outperforming the fucking performer.
Are we going to ignore the fact? Are we going to ignore the fact that 2 minutes and 30 seconds ago, Consciouztv just sparkled and fucking glistened?
I did.
Ancestor or something was in that bitch. You sparkled and glistened.
I mean, he's been doing that since his whole freaking life.
Going on, Conscious.
I'm not
ignoring. Stop it, you guys.
But I want to. I agree with you. My favorite verse, female verse to this day, is Foxy Brown on the "No Nigga, Ain't No Nigga" thing with Jay-Z. Like that's one of my favorite that's one of my favorite verses from her. I can rap that nonstop, and I will not get enough. Hey, Avante, right? Do your big one. Anyway, what I was saying? Oh, Foxy Brown. I rap that her verse on "Ain't No Nigga Like Nobody's Business," and I had to like learn that, because at a point I was fucking up the lyrics to teach myself shit. Bitch, I literally slowed down that shit and kept rapping that shit. I was like, yes, bitch. Death and Moschino, Coach Bag and Half Bag, Filipino, Figaro Jag, you know, making me weak. Like, come on, what you talking about? It's Foxy Brown, and you know Foxy Brown didn't write that verse.
We know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but this,
she's been heavily.
maybe it's because of the origins. Like in the beginning, people writing for singers has always been since the beginning of time, right? But from the beginning of rap, it was about people presenting their own work. So maybe that's why it's so hard for us to make the transition. If that makes any sense.
I feel that.
Yeah, because I had mentioned that too. Like, I think because of how rap started, that was like the blood of the talent. But to Simone's point, even if somebody is using their own pen, it doesn't mean that the shit they're writing about is even true. So what's the difference? Because you can write some shit you're not even living. Look at all these so-called gangster rappers. Look at all these dudes who are really fucking nerds and never lived that street life, but they write that shit and rap that shit as if that's their reality. So if they have the ability to body a frequency or body a vibration that they've never even existed on, then certainly someone who didn't even write the music can rap it from a place of vulnerability or from a place of connectedness. Like it would work in all which ways. Like, I'm not turned off by music that I love just because the artist may not have wrote the music.
I feel like a lot of times what plays a big part is the connection with the deliverer and the writer. Say like Remy wrote something, right? And you just needed somebody to write the song, but you know she's a good writer, but you're not feeling her, but you feeling her craft. And so your delivery may be different. But if you click with this person and, you know, you really rock with their music and all that, you're going to deliver it to the best of your ability because you want to feel like you didn't let the writer down.
Right.
Yeah.
I want Remy to hit the lead.
I want y'all to know you might be listening. I'm telling how I know that, but I'm just saying.
So LaShawn says performers are just as much of an artist as a writer. The difference is the amount of your royalties.
That's big period.
Bees on Mars says, I agree with Lady T. Writing your own verse was a foundational principle of hip hop. I mean, like, I get it, but as somebody who, like, just like those of us who are content creators up here, we know that everybody can't do this shit, but we all share this space with people who are terrible at it, people who are not gifted at content creator, you know, like, and it doesn't even take a genuine talent to be successful as a social media influencer, which is why so many non-talented, huge social media influencers even exist, because it's not necessarily about, or, you know, like what's original and passion and all of those things, like it, because anything that can be successful automatically can be emulated and imitated. Like, think about Britney Spears has set a blueprint for mayonnaise pop stars. That's why every other label wanted their own Britney Spears. So they tried to make Christina Aguilera a Britney initially. They tried. They also used the same model.
Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, they used the same model for Mandy Moore, for Jessica Simpson, for Willa Ford. Like, every label wanted their version of Britney, and the same thing with the Michael Jacksons, etc. Like, under capitalism, you're gonna get that.
But where are they now?
Chris Brown is still prevalent. Justin Timberlake, even though his last album flopped,
I'm talking about the Britney Spears wannabes. Like,
sorry.
There's always the original, and the original will always take. And I feel like that's what Remy Ma is talking about. Like, if you are not original, if you can't create your own original music, you won't last long, and you shouldn't be considered an artist. I get what she's saying, but
you can say that though.
How can she say that when half of the industry are not writers? Like, most labels,
but
have
that's what
writers.
She's saying. She's like, she's not making like the type of impact she could be making if she's pretty much saying, like, I'm a writer and I deserve to be higher than people who don't write.
My problem with it,
no, I think she says that she don't respect them. She's not gonna respect you.
She didn't say none of that. She said that
she didn't say none of that.
That's not what she said.
She said she actually kind of said both things. She said personally, I don't respect if you don't write your own shit, you can't fuck with me. Period. Just sit down. Like personally, I don't respect artists who really don't write, but I understand the business of not writing your music. And she also balanced the conversation by saying how because of capitalism, like especially if you have a successful artist, they now don't have time to sit down, and labels don't now want to take a chance on that artist's genuine craft because now it's a machine thing. It's a continuity thing now. So no, I'm going to bring in the best writers to ensure that your hits are hits after hits after hits after hits, because the bigger you become, the more invested a label obviously is. So you kind of move out of this place of being authentic. So I thought it was a balanced conversation, but she did say she personally feels like writing your own shit is where the heartbeat is.
Yeah.
So I have a question. If it's so acceptable, how come these artists have ghostwriters? How come these artists are not crediting people for writing their music? How come every time you ask a rapper if they have someone writing for them, they're denying it?
It's frowned upon. It's frowned upon. That's why. It's very frowned upon in the industry. As a rapper, it's frowned upon. Everybody is not going to look at them. They're going to look at them crazy.
Yeah, they got a whole team to feed. They can't be going around saying that type of stuff. Like
they can't be
might
doing
lose
that.
fans off that.
That's my point. My point is then that is a telltale sign that you're not that great if you're not writing.
Well, that's why they keep it a secret. Well, that's why they keep it a secret, and that's why nobody says shit. When you're a ghostwriter, you're cast for the ghost. You were not here. Take this money, and we'll see you next week.
You know, when you start off in a deal, you got to take what they give you. Like, you might want to write your own stuff, but they ain't gonna take it. Like, it's got to go through a team of people.
And that's how
so if you got somebody like Remy Ma who's known to who will write for you, who has sold albums before, they might take her song over some shit that you wrote.
That's how they
make them rap it. They might make them do it.
I think for the most part, what Remy really is that when you're not doing your project for solo, it's basically to the ones that are doing their writing and their delivery. It's like they're doing more work and the other person isn't doing as much work.
It's weaponized for the master to keep control of everybody, because all of this right here can be energy, creative energy given and exchanged easily. It doesn't have to be all of this. And I feel like, and I think I had to write it down so I didn't forget, that the labels, y'all got to pay attention. Labels hire more. This is why labels hire more writers than they do artists. This is why labels hire more pensmen than they do vocalists. This is why more writers get a chance to get recognition or to not get recognition for being a ghostwriter, you know. But I think that's the way that they can keep out the middleman of all the components that it takes to make a great song, because that's why Remy feels partially disgruntled, because it was a part of the criteria for her to have that skill set to write in order for her to be great. And so now that times have changed, the industry that she was a part of dumbed down. And I do think that that's a part of her karma for her situation that she did. The world changed without her influence there when it was needed. And so now she's like trying to make up for lost times with the industry. And they're not having it because it changed.
Can I be honest?
I think that
you saying her karma for shooting that girl? Allegedly? What? I missed something.
I'm sorry. I think what Remy Martin is trying to do is basically take advantage of her second. You know, when I say that, even with her situation, we know that before she left, you know, she had her album, she had her thing going on. And during her downtime, a lot has changed. And there are more writers, there are more artists who are willing to allow people to write for them. Even when Big Smalls and Pun died, a lot came to surface that they had wrote for certain people, but we didn't know that. We didn't know that until they were gone.
And I was gonna.
So a lot of times,
and I was gonna say that too.
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of times, it is a big secret.
Yeah, and I'm agree on that. Remy has definitely smartened up when she got out. Like she has stated several times that she wasn't as business savvy. She was wild and she was young. So this day and age, she's going to take any opportunity that she can that she didn't when she got locked up. She's going to get into acting. She's going to write for a TV series. She's going to, give
Aaron.
these new girls. Oh, sorry.
No. Like what you're saying is because like you are triggering my thoughts, and that's my like that's like when you said she's acting. What once again? What the fuck is the difference between an artist a rapper who didn't rap their music? I mean, who didn't write their music, and an actor who is acting a writer's script. Like it's literally the same talent. Like there's literally talent for being a writer, and there's literally talent for being an actor or a performer or an executor of said script, whether it's in the form of a movie role or in the form of a song meant for a vocalist or a track meant for a rapper. That they're like that talent keeps being seen over and over again. Like, could Remy Ma pull off a Halle Berry role?
Hell
Probably
no.
not. Like, like it. Like, there's these lanes are like to me. It seems like it's a fight for power. It's like I feel like some of the girls and guys in the music industry are very insecure as artists because they know that they're not the whole package. So they have to emphasize whatever their one or two strengths are. I feel like Nicki Minaj knows, like for me, Nicki Minaj is not a great performer. She is a great rapper and is a great writer. But I've never seen a memorable Nicki Minaj performance. I don't think she could dance that well. I've never been impressed by
you as an anaconda lie now. I'm just playing.
You're a barb, so
I'm not. Who?
No, I'm talking to Jamel. He's a barb.
I mean, no. Like the songs are cute. Like yeah, but like
you better give her her monster.
A better. But they're like, I could take Foxy Brown's Hotspot over Nicki Minaj's Anaconda. Like, I loved Foxy Brown's whole swag in the Hotspot video, the dance and the choreography. She just was tanned up for me. Like, I live for it. Like, I just don't, I think, and Remy Ma, to her point too, Remy Ma knows she's not a dancer. She knows that she's not the most visually creative person, but she knows her strength is her pen. Therefore, she makes that the staple to what defines talent. And to me, it screams insecurity when you have to do that. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, like, it just, something is screaming, I need to find some way to validate what I bring to the table by diminishing it to where my strengths are, which is so convenient, right? Because everybody who's screaming, writer, happen to be writers. But that doesn't negate the fact that Kim didn't write a lot of her shit too. Biggie wrote her shit. Puffy wrote her shit. Kanye West has been ghostwritten for. Like, Ice Cube has ghostwritten for plenty of other artists. Like, the list goes on and on and on and on. But it just seems like it's a fight for territory and not a genuine like approach to artistry and what really is that.
Well, you know what?
And before you go, Lady T, I want Reckless to chime in before we go any further. But I also want to say that that's the same thing for choreography as well. A choreographer is taking his vision and his creation and putting it on someone else. So while one can be a great dancer, you can be a Britney, you can be a Chris Brown, you can be a Beyonce, but they're not even solely responsible for everything that they're bringing to the table, but they're successful because they're able to emulate the vision of other people. Just like when they do these music videos, a lot of artists are not really that hands-on in coming up with a creative plot for their music videos. That's why there are also producers and directors for those as well. And we all know that imitating something also requires talent, because everybody can't pull off a Beyonce. Everybody can't dance like Beyonce. Everybody can't pull off a music video like Janet Jackson. Everybody, like, all these, like, when I think about the world of music and art, I don't see one hand. It literally is a body to me. And all these technicians of art matter. Like, it doesn't matter that you didn't originate the choreography. You can pull it off. It's going to be amazing because of that. It doesn't matter if you wrote the song. You can pull it off. Like, it doesn't matter if you styled your own hair. You pulled it off. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you styled yourself. These artists aren't even, like, everything that makes them great really is because they're surrounded by other creative, talented people. Their stylists, their stage manager, their creative director for their live performances. Like, it takes all these other creators and they kind of just reap all the benefit of being seen as this Phoenix force, as this unique being, and that's far from the truth of all that it takes to make Beyonce pop on stage, to make Mariah Carey pop on stage, to make all these people pop in their music videos, on the Grammys, on the Video Music Awards, on the beat. Like, it's not just about them. So it seems,
I wonder if people understand that, though, fam. What you're saying, do they understand what you're saying? Why they're trying to keep it a secret? They're trying to keep it a secret of what people are doing, how it's working, and that's why people are not welcoming to one another in the industry, and why they don't work together, because that's the part of the competition factor. It's unhealthy competition, really. Because like you said, I think you made the perfect example when you say you don't have to write the script to act it well. You don't have to toss the wig to rock it. You don't have to make the routine to kill it. It's the same thing with the music. People are there supporting each other creatively. And I don't see what's wrong with that. Why it's such taboo when that's really what's going on behind the scenes any damn way. And we're acting like that's not what it is. And then just riding on the beef. That's why they need to get back to with the rap beefs, responding to each other in the music. You know, stop out there trying to kill each other and being haters on each other, busting each other upside the heads with shoes on red carpets and stuff.
And can we also preface this that Nicki Minaj did not Papoose did not write for Remy, did not write Sheether. Can we stop with that narrative? One freaking female artist said it in their raps, and they kind of keep going with it. I hate that narrative.
But they, regardless of what, they a team, and so if he did write it, you know, God bless her husband for being able to hit her with that. But one of the things that passed me was I forgot who said it, but someone was saying something about maybe she's something with her karma or something like that. I just want to say this real quick, that we all as a people, as a human being, has, you know, fell short somewhere down the line. And a lot of times, you know, our biggest problem is, you know, we tend to remember who people used to be. I don't know if you guys are aware, but like I said, she's my favorite, and so I do know a lot about her. Remy Martin actually has an organization where she helps young mothers that's been through what she's gone through, or that's gone through what she's gone through. So she is out here helping people to not want to be like her, but be better than her. And so
I wasn't saying that it was karma because it was something that she deserved. Karma said she deserved it. I'm just Karma's cousin. Far as what she did in making that mistake, I'm answering y'all. Can I answer?
I'm listening. You good?
The mistake that she made in her life that set her back. We all know one mistake could change her whole life. That doesn't make her a bad person or nothing, but she is a little bit salty because the industry changed and evolved without her influence, which was pivotal at the time.
I'm trying to figure out where people are.
I don't think she's upset though. I don't think she's upset because there's so many avenues of revenue that she can choose
from. She's mad at somebody, but
I don't feel like she's salty. I feel like she's basically admitted for some of the reasons that you know, she wants to do different, and a lot of her writing and her rapping, things has changed completely. And one of her big reasons is that she's raising a young lady, and so she don't want to speak the same. She don't want to sound the same. You know, she don't want to use all these foul languages. And let's keep it real. These languages and things, a lot of it is what's causing people to make it. And so it is harder for her because she don't want to do those things no more because her daughter is looking.
Can I be honest? I refuse to lose, and then I definitely want Reckless to definitely jump in. But I, to be honest, I love Remy Ma, but I feel like she only has to find other avenues because she has no choice to. I don't think, like, I hear what Remy Ma is saying, but I think we all know that she's moving on because it's just not happening for her musically. We've seen her try. When she came out of prison, she was really trying to reclaim her throne. And then Seether did get her some traction, etc. But that was the extent of it musically. And I feel that even if we remove the incident that got Remy Ma locked up and shit, even if she, like, for me, even if she would have still been given time to kind of carry her career, I feel like Remy Ma would not have been successful really because eventually Nicki Minaj, Saweetie, Megan Thee Stallion would have came along anyway. And I feel like a lot of the girls who would have tolerated Remy's presence because female rap has always also been kind of empty. So a lot of people who were winning in female rap just kind of defaulted to the win because it wasn't a lot going on there anyway. But I feel like once the really hyper feminine girls would have came along, they would have tossed Remy to the side because I feel like more women can relate to the femininity versus relate to a more masculine New York Bronx chick. Even when I was listening to Remy Ma in the interview that Lady T is referencing, and it's not a problem for me because I mean, like I'm a queer person, so I mean I don't give a damn about androgynous qualities and masculine, feminine, all of that. But in terms of me knowing the way that our society is kind of set the fuck up at this point, and the girls of our culture love girling, like we're living in an age where women really love their makeup, they love the sensuality, they looking for the submissiveness, the prettiness, like that's the market now. Remy Ma has a lot of masculine energy that just does not translate, and that limits her potential. It limits, and then the fact that she's a dark-skinned woman also is limiting because the industry is also very coloristic. So trying to market that internationally and make her appealing to an international artist is short. It's just like a lot going on with Remy, and
I definitely feel like people with these new artists and things that are going on, I definitely feel like them being naked plays a big role, which Remy never did. She's not gonna do, especially now. But I also feel like, from what I'm hearing, there are some artists that are interested in sampling some of her music, and so that right there may be a great success. Who knows?
And not only that, and I hear a lot of people say that, oh, the only thing that she ever plays is Lean Back and All the Way Up. But if you have to think about it, like this past Super Bowl, those are the two songs that got played on Super Bowl the most. And that's royalties as well. So
right.
I feel like people are just missing the fact that I feel like she's okay with not being the top female in the game because I feel like there's no money in that. I feel like nowadays these girls they want the deal, they want the record deal, but they have to understand that you're not gonna see all that money. You're gonna have to pay some of that shit back.
She just
feel me. It's like nowadays, it's like everybody want to fuck the artist. You know, they want as much coin as out of them as possible. They basically are puppets on a stick. So do the work so I could collect my coin from you. And when you're no longer a hit maker, we could toss your ass aside and bring in the next puppet.
How do you guys feel about let's be real. How do y'all feel about Remy Ma and trying to open the door for more female artists?
Is she doing that though?
I think so.
Absolutely.
She's
She has
putting eyes on
23.
battle rap, girls.
That's the thing that I think that is getting missed. Anybody with longevity in this arena has made a transition into something else. There's very few rappers that have been in the game like the entire career till 2020 something. You know, everyone has had to have a transition out of it. And there's people who become, you know, like, who was that again? Or remember when? And then there's the ones who, the Will Smiths, the Queen Latifahs, the MC Lights, the E.
Was my number one in my top.
Huh?
We don't see no Eves out here.
Who?
Eve.
I didn't hear.
Oh, Eve.
Eve, what did you say about? I didn't hear.
We don't see any more. She was actually she wasn't dressed. She didn't dress so feminine, but she still made it happen.
And that's the thing. If you go to look at Remy's Godmother video, she's uber feminine. She's showing her cleavage and everything like that. New Yorkers automatically get this tough cookie. I don't know what it is, but New Yorkers automatically, everybody assumes that everybody could beat everybody's ass. Now I believe that Remy could, but you know, it's just like this whole, you know, there's a element to it. What she's saying, I think, is more believable because people know she actually has popped off. You know, so I think that like she has some street cred. These other girls that are talking uber feminine, they're talking about this. I done heard them talk about they would smack a dude and
they smack nobody
and all kinds of masculine stuff. I don't hear all this feminine, like this femininity stuff. I see a lot of but I don't hear nothing feminine.
But that's a part of the marketing strategy is you can speak aggressively in an masculine form, but you gotta be like a pit bull in a skirt. You gotta like the rest of it has to be womanly, and then you can talk your shit. But it like a lot of the criticisms around Remy Ma, like a lot of people literally be calling this woman a man. Like they literally like
Remy Man,
like
Remy Man and Ape and all that, which I really don't.
You know
like.
what?
I really don't like
me.
the big car. I don't like it.
Me growing up in Brooklyn myself, a lot of people say that I'm. In fact, one person said to me before, like I shake like I just came home, and I'm like, I'm gonna be if you keep it up. But I'm just saying,
she's gonna be if you keep it up.
Being from, you know, I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn, and so
okay,
to,
I'm from Bed-Stuy. Yes,
we had to be rough. We had to be rough, and when we got older, it just didn't erase from us.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
listen,
a lot of
these
us
New York
are looked
streets
at
is
different.
not.
You know, it's not that
play.
You know, we want to look a certain way, but when you grow to always have to every step.
A lot of the girls come from New York, though. Foxy, Cam, Nicki, a lot of
Cardi.
That's right.
Cardi.
Dog.
That's right.
New York. Yeah.
Well, let me say this and go because I gotta drop back down. Thanks again, as always. It was such a good discussion, but I feel like, you know, I hope that people can really get what, you know, people are saying. You know, the culture is geared by our opinions. Everybody's influenced, even those artists are influenced by us. Don't think you're just influenced by their music.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
influenced on how we consume it and how we criticize it. And so keep up the good work, you know. And I said pretty much what I had to say. I'm not even about to repeat that shit over again, but everything I said, I mean it. All right.
Thank you for being here, love.
Peace out.
All right,
So I have a question for everybody, but before I get to the question, Reckless, I want you to jump in here and give some of your thoughts
on the whole writing thing.
On just whatever you want, yeah, like or whatever.
When it comes to writing, I kind of laugh with people only because of the simple fact of this stuff has been happening in the industry. This stuff has been happening in other areas of rap, but however, it's just the whole thing of now we are just privy to it. So that's why I'd be like, okay, it's a lot of songs that people probably sing that not to their knowledge that the person that actually rapped it, because I'm gonna stay on rapped it, didn't actually fully write the song or even had too much of a play when it comes down to producing, when it comes to composing, like even when it comes down to pen to paper. But however, so for me, I'll be like, girl, okay, whatever. But when it comes, I do agree with a lot of what you guys are saying when it comes down to there is a talent and an art when it comes to delivering it and having that execution on point. Only because we see examples where there's battle rappers who are known for bars, but however, they just, when it comes to them on a song, oh baby, it is like fucking, it's like scratching a chalkboard, bitch.
I was just about to say,
I can't.
Like for real.
Wow.
Yeah, so for real. So like at the end of the day, like that's why when it comes down to like rappers and stuff, they talk like, you know, they start talking about beef and all this other stuff. At the end of the day, we really don't know who all writes their stuff. Yeah, they can claim it, but at the end of the day, a ghostwriter is going to be ghost, and they can't say nothing. So I don't know.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about it. So
and is there a difference between an artist having a ghostwriter and
having a co-writer?
Co-writers? That's the same. Like, if you need help, you need fucking help. Like go.
Yes.
Call it like it's semantics for me. Ghostwriter, co-writer. Yeah. It's the same fucking.
No, I think the difference is that when it comes down to ghostwriters, they're not really known or even credited. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I don't believe ghostwriters are even credited. Now, when it comes to co-writers, but however, when it comes to co-writers, they're on the writing credits. But I think a lot of times too, people conflate.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that a lot of these artists who are screaming pen have co-writers listed in their credits, but they're screaming penmanship. I didn't know until I spoke to a songwriter that literally Beyonce can be listed as one of the writers on her track if she literally created one word or if she just arranged, like made a simple insignificant arrangements that she could be credited as a writer. So to your point, who actually is literally writing their shit from scratch? We don't know. We have to take these artists' word that you know. And then I also heard Remy Ma also say in that same interview that sometimes like a producer may already have a hook. So once again, does that take away from the artist if they come into a song and there's already a hook provided? Like,
but also to that point, which is another reason why I be like kind of rolling my eyes when it comes down to it, because a lot of these people that scream right, I write my own shit. What's the purpose of you writing your own shit when you probably need some co-writers or ghostwriters to help with your versatility, to help with your delivery when it comes to bringing a new style, when it comes to bringing something new to the table? Like, yes, we understand, but yes, we understand the culture where what the origin is, but let's be very clear, this is also a business as well. So with that being said, you're probably going to be doing movies, you're going to probably be doing magazines, you're probably going to be doing photo shoots, and you may not always have the time to do 24/7, but however, I'm going to say this and I don't give a fuck how anybody feel. Every rapper, every artist has the help, whether they want to admit it or not. Okay, I'm going to say the ones at the top. Because at the end of the day, how are you doing? How are you doing all these photo shoots, these interviews, these magazines, these movies, this, that, and you still having time to fully invest yourself in music?
That's exactly what she said in her interview, that once you get to a mainstream level, like of course you have help because there's not enough of you to even go around, and plus there's too much on the line. So labels are like making sure that you are as successful as possible, even if it means them bringing better writers than you to write your shit, because there's money on the fucking floor and they can't afford for you to be a fucking flop. So the stakes get higher and you lose some of your authenticity, which is why people like Beyonce have to eventually buy out their fucking management and all of this shit just to get creative control again, because it's difficult to be that far up and to be that mainstream and that successful and still
have the same people.
And still be genuine in your artistic expression. So that's true. I wanted to also ask you guys about, people keep mentioning Doja Cat in the chat. A lot of people saying that she's a mini Nicki Minaj. I feel like someone who we forget about who really is responsible, who all these girls are her sons, is Missy Elliott. Doja Cat reminds me more of Missy than of anybody else.
I think so, and I concur. I concur.
I can see it, but I think the thing when it comes down to Nicki and Doja is for one, Doja's versatility, and also I would say I think the delivery, and of course, and plus on top of that, the following of the Little Kim blueprint as well. So it's like, yes, I can see where we're going with when it comes down to Missy Elliott, but however, you was probably, if you look at her and probably if you think about her versatility and all the different types of things, you'll be like, oh, okay, I can see Nicki Minaj. And also being the
She
extra
also
animated as
gives
well.
me some left eye too. She gives me left eye as well.
But even when she came out, but even when Nicki came out, especially when she started going like the pop way and she started singing, even she started giving me Missy Elliott. Like I was like, oh, y'all girls putting that Missy on, because Missy was the girl who introduced singing, rapping, R&B, hip hop blends. Yep. She got super crazy with the clothes, the aesthetic. Her and Lil Kim to that fashion, but that was literally Missy's fucking lane. Was like eccentric and just being able to float in between singing and rapping on tracks.
I have a question though.
That kept Missy above and still got her going is that over all these years, she's still with the same team. And they able to versatilize together.
Okay, so I have a question. Is Doja okay? So would you guys say that Doja Cat is she bar heavy?
No.
Okay, because the reason why I asked that is because with Missy, I don't believe she's really bar heavy, so I can actually see that. Like bar heavy, I don't think so. I can see that.
We also have to remember that she's also a producer as well. She's also a producer, so.
I probably have a low standard for bars, but Missy Elliott spits. Doja Cat, actually, I prefer Doja Cat as a rapper. Like when she raps, she be bodying that shit when she be spitting. The singing is like, oh, it's cute. It fits.
She's definitely a better rapper.
She's a better singer than Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj should never sing.
Girl, you finna get these barbs up here, bitch.
Never sing.
I live.
Hold on. Are you saying that Nicki Minaj cannot sing?
No, Nicki Minaj cannot. I need her to stop.
She can hold a tune. I wouldn't call her a songstress.
No, she should stop. She should stop. She should stop.
Oh Lord, these bars.
I think he does. I think Nicki
wait a minute. Oh my God, not today.
I think Nicki does well with her native language when she sang with her native language.
Girl, these barbers finna be up here. So get ready, bitch. They finna come up here.
I don't have a lot of barbs. Like a lot of barbs, don't follow me. So we never really have that. Even when we're talking about Nicki.
Girl, you said that last time. Next to know, I had to windmill on a lot of hoes.
Lucky is a sane barb. He wasn't even giving delusional barb. He was just giving. He gave balanced, healthy barb. But the barbs y'all be talking about, them hoes are not Conscious Crew members. So we never have problems here.
Bitch, I be windmilling on them hoes over there on Big O, bitch. That shit be a king, bitch.
Yo, you cannot argue with somebody who is so diluted and so willing to believe their own delusions.
Let's not.
Y'all don't think that this Nicki Minaj can sing?
No, I don't.
She can hold it too.
She can't.
Yeah,
y'all don't think that she was blowing on pills and potions?
No.
Well, yeah, she did do that.
She did that.
Y'all really trying it. Y'all really trying to make this.
Y'all don't think she was blowing on I Came to Win? No.
That's literally her worst song. Can we just say that's one of her worst songs? Fly. Fly is one of her worst songs on that freaking album. Ugh.
I feel like a Disney princess when Fly comes on.
Bitch.
I think she did a lot of echoing in that song.
Yeah.
Well, what about but Miss Kim be trying to vocal it up. How you
can't sing. Kim cannot sing.
Little Kim cannot sing.
No, she can't sing. And everybody know I love me some Kim, but she cannot sing, girl. Now I will say the whole thing with her. I think with her, she keeps trying to do the whole sound thing when it comes down to this Kim. When it comes down to this auto tune, someone need to. Okay, for me personally, when it comes down to Kim, I can take a little bit of the auto tune, but I'm gonna need for her to go down to her deep voice and keep it down.
I
Now, for
mean,
me,
Dream
I
Doll
can take.
already took it. No shade.
I think she's trying to
Wait,
keep
say it
up with
again.
the
Say it
new
again.
thing.
Dream Doll already took it. She
I love.
snatched the hell out of Kim's D
I
voice.
love me some Dream Doll, bitch.
I think
I
Kim is
live.
trying to keep up with the new thing, and that's what's holding her back. I think she should
Mhm.
stick with who she is.
Yes, because bitch, when I heard Auto Blanco, because when I heard Auto Blanco and I heard that deep voice, I was here for it. I was like, yes, ma'am.
I don't think
Now
that little
this,
Kim knows who she is to be like whoever she is. I don't think she even is clear yet about.
Yeah, I believe that.
I think that all these old rappers need to sit on down and do something else. Get to knit and make a pot of beans. Like the young girls come on here and shake a tail feather and rap and all that stuff. I don't want to see Kim doing it no more. I don't even want to see Remy go.
No shade. They even ushering the fuck out of Nicki Minaj out of here. No shade.
And Nicki could, yes, and Nicki needs to realize she's knocking
They
on
are
40
ushering
doors.
Nicki out slowly but surely, and she don't have no clue.
More for the young girls coming through and doing their thing, but what I'm not for is for them coming through and showing our children how to shake their ass and then be naked. That's what I'm not here for.
I'm not here for that too much either, but I'm talking about the older ones. Just find a new lane and let the young girls do what the young girls do. Now, who I feel sorry for is apparently the blind people, because we done sat up here and talked about all these things that made someone talented. And I'm just thinking, what if they couldn't see these people? What does this sound like? Is this music? Poor Stevie Wonder. Like,
I mean, the music is honest. I mean, music literally is a purely creative
space,
subjective thing, because if we talk about music, I mean, music dates back to indigenous communities banging on rocks and drums and tapping their feet on the ground and creating sound and movement. So what is music is a question that I don't think we can really answer, because it's going to be, music is just going to be whatever it's going to be to persons, to the culture, to every civilization. Has their sounds, has their rhythms, have their aesthetics around music. So, now what one generation found to be music and what another generation finds to be music. Somebody had, it might have been J. Cole. Somebody said something about like the difference between this generation and like our parents' generation is that it was about the lyrics and the song to our parents. But this a generation, it's about the vibe of the song. It's an energy thing. It doesn't, and that's why like even mumble rap can exist. It doesn't even have to be words, just a feeling. Like just
it could be the beat. They like the beat. They like the beat more than the lyrics.
I have a question. Okay, so I'm gonna be a little bit petty. So, do you think like it was like that because like back in the day they was more religious, and when it comes out to religious people, they're more focused on the text. But however, since people are more spiritual, they do more on the vibe and the energy.
Because I do think that generation. I do think that this generation is more spiritual and more into energy than our previous. than the previous generation, and that goes back to the difference in the generation. This generation is not textual and biblical. It's about feelings, and creating a feeling, creating a mood, creating an ambiance, and that can be very muddy because that can look very different to anybody creating a mood, creating an atmosphere for themselves. So now that we're in that place, music can be even more fucking subjective and muddied up. It doesn't have to be so structured and contemporary, or it don't have to be as structured as the songs of the past. Now it could just be a beat and a nigga whistling the whole time. I mean, Timberland was throwing fucking newborn babies into someone to call Leah tracks, you know, like, are you that some? I mean, you know, like it's we in that age of all Timberlands now. Like the consumers of music are Timberlands. They hear it differently. They experience sound differently, and it is a different time. So it makes sense that what the type of music that's producing that resonates would be much different for.
Because I'm not gonna lie, because like for me, like and also to that point, and I believe you referenced it before, is that it's also to the people that's actually just having that preference. Only because what me and my friends do, I like, you know, I play my playlist and I be like, yes, bitch, yes, and they be like, girl, that shit was trash as fuck. But then, however, when they like, you know, when they start playing they shit, I be like, bitch, that all sounded the same. So, you know, I think it all goes. Damn, I can't even talk right now. It all goes down to the ear as well. Yes.
Can I have a question. If you don't mind, can I address something that's been happening in the chat? If you don't mind, because people are really like in their fifis and taking what I said,
and that's like, what I want. I want them in their fifis
and taking things like way too serious. Number one, I'm 45 years old. Okay, have no problem stating that. So I've been around for a very long time. What I do know is that a lot of these older rappers have transitioned out of that field around about their mid-30s. And they have established themselves in different arenas so that they have longevity in this business and also some kind of financial stability going forward. And it's always sad to see somebody whose time is up,
oh Lord,
and scraping and holding on and trying.
Who would that be, lady?
Madonna.
Who would that be?
Madonna.
Yes, that is a perfect example. Madonna walking around here still trying.
Y'all think Madonna time is up?
Sit her old decrepit ass down. I am tired of Madonna.
Nah, Madonna still got it. She's still producing shit. That
I don't care. Sit her decrepit ass down. She's a mummy. Nah. Sit her decrepit ass down. I don't like Madonna. I don't find her talented. She's not a gay icon. What? I said this on Instagram. She's not a gay icon. She's not my gay icon.
You are wilding out, Aaron. You are wilding out. No. Madonna. Are you serious, Aaron?
Yes, I don't find Madonna
is
to
the
be
white
talented.
people's Janet Jackson. She is
girl, that's a damn lie.
But I do want to say, okay, so I do want to say something to Lady T's point. I think another thing that she also, what I'm gonna add to her point is that when it comes down to women in rap, they have this whole system of ageism, because ageism is different in female rap compared to being a female R&B singer. Because, you know, for the most time, you probably got like 10, 15 years max. When it comes down to, like right now, Tina Turner is still considered a sex icon. Well, not to us, but however, like with her, like the span of her career, it's way longer than a lot of female rappers. And keep in mind, if you were to add all their times together as well, too, it still would be longer. So I think that's another thing, because you also want to protect yourself. Because the whole thing behind it too, you always want to have multiple sources of income. And like, come on, like we all know, you always want to have multiple, alleys just in case one shut down. You got 5 more that's also available to you.
Still getting her goddamn high school diploma, honey. She's still getting her damn degree out here. Now, I have a question. I have a question for you both. I mean, not for you both, but for you all. People also in the chat was bringing up Lauryn Hill. Some people, because I was listening to Trina's interview on Vlad, she said she doesn't consider Lauryn Hill a rapper, that Lauryn Hill is like some alien species that transcends being able to lump her into any particular category. That's how I feel about Missy Elliott in a way as well, which is why I feel like she doesn't get a lot of references as a rapper, because she's kind of like really in her own lane. But how do y'all feel about Lauryn Hill as a rapper?
I think she's a great rapper. I think she's very much versatile.
She was an amazing rapper.
Can we also I want to make this point, but I want Lauryn Hill is love her down.
Beautiful gowns.
But I
Beautiful
am
gowns.
tired of people putting Lauren in the category of female rappers. This lady had one album, one great album.
So we're gonna forget about the albums that the Fugees did. We're just gonna say screw that.
Listen, that's a group. We're talking about her as an individual. We're talking about her as an individual artist, not
That's
a group.
like saying that we can't talk about Q-Tip because he used to be with Tribe Called Quest and his solo career is.
First of all, when his solo career was bombing, was like mad, was successful. His solo career was successful. You think that?
Who
was Q-Tip's solo career? But
yeah, a vibrant thing, and got to the song with Janet. He had a cute run.
Wait, you only named one song though.
The vibrant thing.
Yeah, the vibrant thing. That's the only one that you know. What else?
Irrelevant as well.
But that's what I'm saying is this: we have to leave Lauryn Hill, the late Lauryn Hill.
Exactly the same way the late Biggie is always going to be mentioned as a legend. He only had one album before.
We need to leave Lauryn out of the equation of female rappers or whatever. She had one great album. That's it.
Okay.
But that's all it takes when you really got it, Aaron. It takes. When you got it, it's a one-hitter quitter.
He only has 2 albums. He was dead by the first one, and he's still mentioned in the top everyone's top 5. When you got it, you got it. How could we honestly discredit Lauren's skill set?
Well, it's not we, baby. It's Aaron. Because Lauren is like the embodiment to me of an actual like that. Like when I think of artists, she's what comes to mind. Missy is what comes to mind. Like these creative geniuses.
Do you feel like she's an icon? Do you feel like Lauren, what's her name? Lauren Luckett? Lauren England? What's her name?
Lauryn Hill?
Lauryn Hill. I'm sorry.
Aaron trying it.
Lauryn Hill.
She's not an icon.
Do you feel like she's an icon or
she's
a legend?
She's not an
icon.
She's
a legend for sure. She is a legend. Yes. I mean, she.
I love the delusions. Okay.
She's a legend. She's not an icon, but she's absolutely.
Aaron comes from the thought culture. Okay, he comes from the Megan Thee Stallion, ass popping, deep throating culture. Okay, of female rappers.
Wait, hold on. I first of all, I named Foxy Brown as one of my favorite verses.
And she's
not even a big fan of Megan.
Another raunchy rapper.
I don't like Foxy.
Meet me at the expo. I can jiggle at the navigator, laying back, I staying at me falling off. Imagine that. That's not the case. I'm sitting on top of the world like Brandy and Mace. You wanna buy me your drink, nigga? Hand me your case. Big baller bitch. All of this shit.
Hot Spot was my song, but she lost me when she spit on her. She spit on that girl, and that was it for me.
She won me when she had the nerve to get up on that Hot Spot stage, with a fupa hanging over her metallic draw. And I said, "Baby, this is Black girl authenticity. I want to see Nicki Minaj fupa over her bikini. That's confidence, baby." Like Foxy Brown will always go down as the baddest bitch just because she had the nerve to do an 8 count with her fupa hanging over her motherfucking draw. There ain't a badder bitch that exists. I live. Now I do want to talk a little bit about Lil' Kim because we got into her. No, before we do that, I want to talk about a Cardi B. Cardi B, I was watching like all the rap girls today. Cardi B was asked by the Vlad interview about writing music. Cardi B says and claims she writes her music. Do you guys believe that she writes her own music?
She maybe do now, but I don't think she always has. No.
But I feel like she writes her music in the beginning. I think she still writes it now, but I think she do have help.
Mm-hmm.
She does. Is like a co-writer. She
like
does have co-writers. She does have a team. Cardi B is one of the biggest female rappers at this time. We cannot. We have to preface this. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about Cardi. What y'all feel like she did or what she said in the industry. You feel like she's not a black woman. Whatever.
I
She
feel
is
like
the biggest female rapper today. We have to. I think she writes, but I think she also has co-writers. That's my final thing on that.
You definitely can't take her talent from her. But as I always say, and I'm still gonna stand on that, a lot of these new rappers are where they are because they take their clothes off, and I'm gonna stand on it.
What girl can do up? Honestly. Which one of these girls can really do up?
Well, Kodak
Then it's
Black was
up,
my
then it's
favorite.
up,
So
then it's up. Hey. What?
I don't like Up.
I like it.
The Kodak Black, her first song, that was my favorite.
I live for Cardi B's whole Invasion of Privacy album. Like, even like it was the slow songs that impressed me. I'm always impressed when artists can make slow songs. I was thinking with the track, I just want to break up all your shit. Call your mama phone, let her know that she raised the bitch, and dial tone click. It's like number 4 on a like when I heard that I was like, glory. But I think Cardi B, I think she's gifted. I don't know about talented, but she is gifted. And there is a difference. I also will say that I don't believe that she writes her own music. I think she comes up with ideas, and then she got a lot of other helper outers who kind of like bring it into vision. Like, I just cannot, because when she was asked that question, the way that bitch murmured and stuttered and deflected and cartwheeled and reversed Uno and she did not make that conversation with Vlad a like very nuanced, layered one. It was very clear that she was lying her motherfucking ass off. But I think she had the willingness to still say she does write, simply because she does come up with ideas around her writing.
Well, someone in the chat said that Remy's writing for Cardi, and when I think of some of the lyrics, it does sound like it does sound a bit Remy-esque.
Well, Remy did say that she's writing, she's ghostwriting for others. She did say that.
And the way she was saying it, like, I think it's okay. It was like she sounded like she had a big check, and I was like, it had to be more than just her writing for that TV show. She has to be writing for one of these women that we've been debating about all night. It has to be.
And she do have a relationship with Cardi, so I wouldn't put it past her.
Maybe that's why Remy been so okay with not busting Cardi down for a feature, because she's still been collecting a Cardi B check on the back end when it comes to the writing, to the ghostwriting.
That's why she ain't coming out with no whole albums.
And that's what. Do you think that's hypocritical of what, you know? Because a lot of people said this too in the comments, that it's very hypocritical for Remy to say that when you try to bust out Nicki Minaj for ghostwriting, for saying that somebody was ghostwriting for Nicki. Do you feel like that's hypocritical on her part?
No, I feel like at the time that Nicki was, at the time, Nicki did allegedly have some ghostwriting, and being that it was a beef, she called out what she felt was appropriate for the industry and what role she played.
I feel like if anybody was a hypocrite in that situation, Aaron, it was Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj, especially when it comes to Cardi, always screams pen, pen, pen. But when Remy Ma told
your ass up,
she came back with, to be the queen of rap, you gotta sell records. You gotta
sell tracks.
And that's why I agreed with it.
S, plural, with the S on my chest. I was like, that was the most.
What if Remy wrote for Nicki? What if Remy was writing for Nicki and
I would gag. I would, like, when I tell you, I would go in every Barb's Instagram thing and just like spam their comments with, did you know that Remy writes for Nicki? And here's the proof. When I tell you I will cause a muck, I would be the most hated person ever in the Barb's fan base. I would be the most hated.
Look, the way that these songs travel around, because sometimes ghostwriters don't even know who they're writing fucking for. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't think, like, if it did happen, it happened in some, like, neither one of them were probably aware of it. But,
well, I mean, one of them is aware because one of them wrote it. So when it's coming out of the other one,
well, one of them wrote to the beat, and then who that's given to is a whole nother thing. You know, because songs that are written in rap are kind of sold the same way that songs for vocalists are. Like, you write to this beat, or a song gets written and you sell that shit off, or you pitch it around to different artists, etc. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened in that context, but I don't think I don't know. This shit is so shady. Who fucking knows? It could be consciously,
like,
but I highly doubt it.
When you going at her, you make a point of her having ghostwriters because you know for a fact you was one of them, even though she don't know, but you know that she know what she don't. That'd be crazy.
I don't know if I don't think that Remy Ma would be able to hold her peace about that shit. Like, I think
she would have definitely busted out. She would have
added that shit by now as a one up on Nicki ass, because that's the ultimate one up. Like, that's the like that would one up Remy even beyond Seether and Nicki. That is the Seether. If you wrote for this bitch who is dragging the lace off your front, like.
Conscious. You know what? That makes me think about something. Did you ever see that article that the Barbs made up and conjured up and created spirits and just put it to life and gave it life to the bloggers about how Nicki had writing credits on BMI on Fat Joe's and Remy Ma's collaborative album Plato o Plomo, that Nicki had writing credits on their album?
No.
There's an actual article that's trying to, like, the bloggers pushed that Nicki had writing credits on Remy's album for the Plato o Plomo album. And I think that's now you making me think, like, the reason for that is because Nicki knows that Remy wrote for her. So basically he's trying to get a one up on Remy, that, you know what, you wrote for me, but I also wrote for you on your album.
That's some tea. That's too rare for my blood.
Yeah.
Let me ask.
Wow, no, I never heard of all that.
Let me ask
my ears.
If it's so a secret that people have ghostwriters, how did Remy Ma know that Nicki had a ghostwriter?
It's been said multiple times before that, so if she ain't say nothing new.
Well, right.
Safari had writing credits on her album.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, it's supposed to be like a secret to us, but apparently, like, in the industry, this is all like everyday life. But to consumers, they're almost like the fucking Illuminati, some goddamn secret society of fucking some invisible penmanship. But there's literally a whole video on YouTube of a guy who goes very in. Matter of fact, let me pull up an article really quick and get you guys' thoughts on this, because I was looking into this earlier.
How do y'all feel about Remy Martin being the only female artist to own all her work, all her masters, all her stuff like that?
I think it's brilliant. I think that anytime anybody owns any of their shit, that's the way to go. Like, ownership is everything. Oprah has talked about ownership and how important it is. Beyonce has spoken about it. You can make your bread from ownership because you have the rights and the publishing to your work. I mean, your money is endless. You can, so that means that when movies, sitcoms, shows go to feature your shit, like, that all that money goes to
you. Gotta get something out of it.
Yeah, and 100% of that goes to your ass. So, and that's how these record labels are making all this fucking money. Like when we be hearing these artist songs in the theaters and on big soundtracks and shit,
they
get a
get
small
paid
percentage to what the label is making in royalties, like over and over and over and over and over again from their music. So
that's why Remy said that for every sale I do, you gotta do like 10. Conchita. For every sale I do, you gotta do like 10 of those.
Remy be having
that was
shade.
Everything independent. All the way up just went 3 times platinum, and then they played that song on a Super Bowl. What? You have to know that she's getting cake off of that shit.
Hold on, I'm trying to find something y'all can keep. She was at it.
And then Conceited is number 5 on Triller. I think Triller.
Yeah, that's still
making Conceited.
And even on TikTok, it's like number 2.
Get it, Brim.
Okay, so let me read this article by Forbes. Let me pull it up real quick because I want to get you guys' thoughts, and then I want to also talk a little bit about Little Kim because we got into a conversation about her on the last live, and I'm not finished with her yet.
I love Kim.
I am not finished with her yet. Is this Forbes? Hold on. Okay. Yes.
Can we just say that those pictures that she put up? I don't.
Oh, we're gonna get into it. So this article is by Forbes, and it reads: "Phantom rappers inside the business of ghostwriting." Hold on. Why is this here? Move. When Meek Mill took to Twitter to accuse Drake of not writing his own lyrics for a verse on Mill's Rico this July, it sparked a rally of diss tracks between the duo and reignited a debate over rap's secret scribblers. In an art form predicated on first-person narratives, the specter of ghostwriting remains hip-hop's oft-ignored reality. When it rears its head, fans riot at the perceived inauthenticity of their idols. Yet this summer's Meek Drake debacle highlighted just how little we know about the hidden pens behind the mics. Forbes talked to several ghostwriters to find out how the secret business really works. Most declined to go on record to name their clients for fear of damaging relationships and future earnings. But it's safe to say that the bulk of the names on this year's Cash Kings list have used ghostwriters during their career, including some of the genre's most elite earners. Fourth rank, Dr. Dre has long used high-profile penmen such as the DOC and Eminem, as well as unknown artists whose myriad detox contributions may never be heard. Diddy, this year's top Cash King, may have put it best, quote, "Don't worry if I write rhymes, I write checks." But who are these mystery rhyme actors? In the case of Drake, Mill pointed fingers at Quentin Miller, an up-and-coming rapper Mill suggested wrote for the Canadian multi-platinum rapper. Miller was thanked as QM in the credits for If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, and credited as a co-writer on 10 bands, Know Yourself, and Used To. I am not and never will be a ghostwriter for Drake. I'm proud to say that we've collaborated, but I could never take credit for anything other than the few songs we worked on together, Miller wrote in a Tumblr post, the only time he has publicly addressed the allegations. Miller and Drake's case highlighted the shadowy understanding of what constitutes ghostwriting. Co-writers are typically credited as songwriters and receive a cut of the royalties, occasionally in addition to cash fees, while ghostwriters are uncredited and receive upfront payments. And these days, the distinction is becoming less and less clear. Quote, a lot of times people think, oh, they got credit, so they're not a ghostwriter, but you kind of still are if it's not common knowledge that you worked on the record, says Gregory Taylor, a prolific ghostwriter and artist in his own right. Quote, especially in the digital era with Spotify, you're not even getting the credits anymore. I never even thought about that. For as long as there has been rap, there have been ghostwriters. Hip-hop's first hit, Sugar Hill Gang's 1979, Rapper's Delight, reportedly contained lyrics written by an uncredited Grandmaster Case. A rap boom during the late 80s, so too did the business of ghostwriting. Quote, I think I set a rate every bar $1,000, says M.F. Grimm, real name Percy Carey, a California-based writer and former NF Doom collaborator who worked with Dr. Drake when Death Row Records was still dubbed Future Shock. Quote, everything I did was off the books. Carey was hired by major labels to produce more than a dozen verses, choruses, and occasionally full songs for roster artists starting in 1986. He did not receive royalties. His only songwriting credit from the era is on Kool G Rap's 1995 album, 456. And though he hadn't ghostwritten since the mid-90s, he's penned books and graphic novels in his own name and for others since. To this day, ghostwriters are typically paid between $10,000 and $20,000 upfront for their anonymous contributions, with occasional big label projects soaring even higher. Though this may sound hefty, it pales in comparison to the $50,000 plus per verse popular rappers can change. In the case of many songwriters like Tracy but Poogie, the fat bastard Horton, it took them too long to recognize the importance of royalties. Quote, for the first few major projects, I was so happy to be on them that I accepted it as paying my dues. I wasn't looking for anything, recalls Horton, who got a big break writing for Roxanne Shante in 1992's The Bitch Is Back. It wasn't until he wrote 5 songs for Supernova, the 2001 solo album of TLC's Lisa Left Eye Lopez, that Horton understood the significance of liner notes. Quote, now I know the value of publishing, he says, adding the biggest check he received while writing for 65 major hip-hop and R&B acts was around $100,000. My friend did a song for Destiny's Child, Jumpin' Jumpin', and for a while, his regular check was $250,000. But if the record stops playing, that dwindles and people go back to work. Horton, who also contributed 5 credited choruses to Rakim's 2009 album, The Seventh Seal, has been his work appear uncredited many times. He says he wrote Left Eye's verse on 3D's Over Me and penned Amory's hook on DMX's Dog Love, though his name never appeared in the album sleeve. Quote, for me, that's deception and you defrauded me. He's not the only one to have been shortchanged. Every ghostwriter I spoke with had similar anecdotes of hearing their work released by artists without their knowledge or reimbursement. Others started in the trade by contributing uncredited songs to collective studio sessions, sometimes as rite of passage when working for an experienced artist. Now, this goes on and on and on, of course. I saw something else up here that I wanted to kind of reference. It's called 7 Popping Hip Hop Ghostwriters Who Deserve Your Respect in 2019. One of those being Quentin Miller. In a world full of small fries, the fans put in their 99 cents and conclude that Quentin Miller is a larger one. Amid the beef between Drake and Meek Mill, Atlanta-based rapper Quentin Miller found himself dodging interviews once a reference track he recorded for Drake got released. However, Quentin Miller wouldn't say he's a writer, but more so his own artist. He and Drake just happen to be on the same wave. Likewise, Quentin Miller is one half of the duo WD&G. Dyson Photon, aka Party. The OG got his feet wet in the hip-hop game back in 2013 with his song Oh, but rose to ultimate fame after he was ousted by a Twitter user who discovered a video of Partisan Photon rapping Cardi B's Be Careful lyrics verbatim over the exact beat. Still, that didn't matter. In fact, Cardi B and the NY rapper have been down since 2014. Cardi B even made sure to credit the songwriter alongside 17 others who were credited. His songwriting skills wouldn't go unnoticed, as Invasion of Privacy would go on to win a Grammy for Rap Album of the Year in 2019 and receive a nomination for Album of the Year as well. Gizzle. And I think this same guy also has ghostwritten for Kanye West as well, as Kanye West has referenced him as one of his ghostwriters. On Her Grind, or better yet, Gizzle. Hold on, I gotta hold so. Okay. Over Her Grind, or better yet, Gizzle, the femc is one who refuses to be silenced, writing viral-driven bangers for the likes of Lil Fizz, Kanye West, Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, G-Eazy, T.I., Bootsy Badass, Diddy, Ty Dolla $igns, and Travis Scott. God damn. Gizzo has learned how to pep talk those that she ghostwrite for. I think we got Reckless back. Boom, add you in. She says that writing for others isn't too hard because it's for them and it's their perspective. So this is interesting because we've been talking about kind of, you know, like the dynamics of being the rapper versus the writer. And here it is. We have a writer who is saying that she doesn't find it too hard because it's for them and in their perspective. So let me just put a pin right there. What do y'all think about that? Because we was just talking about that earlier in the dialogue about the difference. And that's kind of what I meant by Cardi. That's what I make a Cardi B so-called writing process is I think that she sits down with people and they hear her out and then they build music around her feelings, her thoughts, her ideas. And that's kind of what Miss Gizzo is referencing as well.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think about that? Because that's a creative process all by itself too. Kind of like when a person works with a director who wants to write maybe a loosely based, or wants to produce a loosely based autobiography of you, and they get your take, your perspective, etc. They add their own creative spin to it as well. Boom, boom, boom. Thoughts on that?
I would say is not too far-fetched for what we said. I feel like that's a collaborative effort that they sit down with these artists and they listen to they get a beat, they sit down, they get a beat, and they figure out what this beat, what do they want to say on this record, like what are you feeling and stuff like that, and you know, and then y'all already know Cardi B in particular, you know how she talks, so you have to change, basically have to tweak your pen a little bit into a Cardi B voice, like in how the way Cardi speaks, because it's not going to translate well if it's coming from that writer. So you have to tweak it, tweak your pen as if Cardi is writing it. So it's not too,
and that explains why even songs written for them, they can body those songs because it's written for them and it's written in their likeness.
Yeah. Because you know that up song, you know how Cardi talks. So it's like you have to just do that. You have to tweak it to that person's personality, the way they say things, the way their attitude is at that time. You know, all those variables go into writing that song or writing that potential hit. So, yeah.
Lady T, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
You write, don't
Yes,
you?
I do.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question. So let's say hypothetically, I brought you onto a project to write for me, and let's say that was your only contribution is you wrote it. From there, I went on to execute it incredibly, and I produced a visual, a musical video around what you wrote for me. What, like, would you not think of me as an artist, even though I have contributed artistically through my execution of what you wrote, and I also produced amazing visuals and ideas to bring those words into full-blown life? Do you think that that's an artistic contribution to your work?
So wait, let me just be clear. You're performing my work.
Yes.
And
well, I'm performing one. I'm performing what you wrote. The rest of it.
No. I didn't mean this. I didn't mean it like that. Yes, you're performing what I wrote. I mean, for me, that is something that happens often if we're talking about acting, because there's playwrights and things like that. And to be quite honest, I've written many people's schoolwork. Like I used to get paid per. Well, I mean, let me just stop shutting my mouth before. But I'm just saying, like, how many degrees do I have? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't sit there and say, oh, I have this degree because I assisted someone with their schoolwork. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of, I let it go, like, out of my hands once it's out of my hands, So with acting, I think that that's a part of it. Now, if it were like my poems or some of my rhymes and stuff like that, not that I'm a rapper or nothing like that, but if it was something like that, and I watched you like kind of like blow up, and I didn't have a decent deal, I'd be a little bit agitated. But as far as like your artistry,
because that's what I'm asking, kind of also
the artistry. There's so much to the arts that I can't say that I could discredit you 100%. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same,
that's what I was asking y'all in the big. That was my point in the beginning.
Right, and I said that I get it. Like you can still get the job done. It's just that I'm going to give a little bit of an edge to those who do. It's like for instance, for me now, it's to the point where people are just literally like writing for people. My thing was that not all the rappers were able to freestyle. I never discredited somebody for being a good rapper if they were unable to freestyle, because that's a talent within itself. Also, in addition to that, being able to ride a beat or have that kind of syncopation with the lyrics and the song is a gift as well. Like I forgot who said it. I want to say it was Reckless who said it, that the rappers, the battle rappers, they can't rap on beat. If you ever heard a battle rapper rap on like actual track, it's hard. Like it's just like, oh my god, just stick to battle rap. That's not your.
Yeah, and when you battle rap on stage, they don't have no beat. They literally just go a cappella. And they have to remember their material on that stage. So battle rap is definitely different than anything.
Yeah, because like that was my point to the Remy Ma stuff, is like, I don't know if it's fair to reduce talent to just being writing, when writing is only one part of a whole project that comes together creatively. And it's really and you have to have talent wherever you are in the space, like whether you're the writer or whether you're the performer or whether you're the makeup artist or whether you're the wardrobe stylist or whether you're the music video director or whether you are the creative director. Like, it takes all of that. So to Remy's point, I'm like, writing is a talent, but can we also act like performing what's written is also, we're not going to act like that's not a talent, because if that wasn't the case, we all could be successful rappers, and we're all not talented and gifted as rappers. We're all not talented and gifted as lyricists. And there's a lot of people who can rap shit they can't write.
So basically,
and this is why I said some battle rappers are unable to make the transition and rhyme over the beat, and there is a big difference in, when I'm talking about, I'm not talking about in front of the bodega where they had their written 16, and then when it was time to go to the street corner, they brought out their 16 bars that they wrote. I'm talking about the, and the beat changed, or maybe it was somebody banging on the school table. Like, yes, there's plenty of people who've gone from battle rap into mainstream, or onto a beat. But I also implore you to go listen to some of these battle rappers who have tried to make a song and it just don't hit like when they're actually in competition. It's like a different kind of a talent. So
I agree with that because my son is an artist and I feel that he's better in battle rapping versus a verse on the song.
mm-hmm.
But to me, it all boils down to if you put on the spot, can you handle any area of the job?
And that's what makes them great. Like that's why they call like someone like Prince the artist because Prince plays music, he writes, he sings, he dances.
Mm-hmm.
What he does it all. So they call the artist. He's the artist of the artist.
He's versatile.
He's versatile. Then you have someone who like Michael Jackson. He may not be he may not be writing all of his music, even though he does write. I don't know if
did right.
He did write. He may not play. Well, he probably does play an instrument, and he certainly does know how to draw. Let me find somebody else. I'm gonna have to probably go to today's music.
In terms of an artist?
Yeah, like in terms of an artist that
I would say Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga, who is my favorite, who is my mayonnaise white queen.
Ambrosia.
She's my queen, so I would have to say her because she knows how to write her songs. She writes her songs. She plays instruments. She knows how to perform small crowds and big crowds.
Mm-hmm.
She can dance, even though she didn't come from dancing. She had to work at it. And that's a talent.
What about 50 Cent being a songwriter and a screenwriter? How do y'all see him?
I would say collaborative effort. He had a collaborative effort on that screenwriting thing. So yeah.
But see, 50 Cent's first album was like a movement or something. Like it was.
I still
like I just remember hearing Many Men and being like, "What the fuck is happening? Like this shit is
a candy shop."
Yeah, but I wasn't candy shop.
Hey man, that was my shit.
Yes,
I was calling everybody Wingsters in school.
Serious.
Yeah. 50 he did his thing.
It's a lot of artists in the they are definitely there. But I think that a lot of these labels have just gotten lazy and they see now that consumers will buy whatever they're ultimately trying to sell to them. So they don't even bother really scouting for genuine talent anymore. They can manufacture it and they can imitate authentic gifts. So they go in that route now. And I think that pisses off the Nicki Minaj's and the Remy Ma industry who are like, oh, like I gotta share the space with these plastic manufactured assholes who really do this shit, and it's an irritant. And I do understand that, like somebody getting credit for, but see, it's still weird for me because I'm just like, you still have to be talented to pull the shit off.
Yeah.
Right.
They had to work towards that. I don't think it just came naturally to them. They had to work towards that. They had to do the work. So we're not dissing them. We're not it's not a respect thing, but to those ladies that do everything, perform right, everything, it is kind of a disrespect to them per se. But I'm just saying.
Do y'all think that it's fair for Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma? Because I know Nicki was just kind of like on some like, like I ain't gonna disrespect you, but just like know your place. Like if you don't write your shit, don't act like you do. Don't say that you do, and get the fuck out of the way of those who do. And Remy Ma was kind of like on that same shit too. But do you feel like that's a dig? Because no matter how pretty you try to like doctor up the language, ultimately you're still telling somebody that they're not talented because they're not talented in this way.
Let me
not necessarily talented, but you can't sit with me, sis.
Yes,
you can't fucking sit with me.
But that's to my point. Like that. So like say a Jennifer Lopez, right? We know that Ashanti was fundamental in her career. She like J-Lo done got caught like with like singing over Ashanti vocals, using Ashanti's vocals in her music. Like she's wrote a lot of J-Lo's music. Like so J-Lo can't sit with Ashanti on the writing side and maybe even on the vocal side. But J-Lo is a dancing, entertaining ass bad bitch of a fucking machine.
I agree.
So Ashanti can't sit with her ass as well.
Yeah,
like,
no shade.
Like,
arenas,
Jennifer is gifted in ways that Ashanti ain't gifted in, and Ashanti is gifted in ways that Jennifer ain't gifted in.
They both helped each other. They both helped each other in a way. They both.
I like Ashanti. She's Ashanti to me. Okay, Ashanti, baby.
I think all of them have their different strengths. You know, at the end of the day, they all have a different strength, and the problem comes when you try to dominate somebody else's strength, what you don't have, and that's when you start to look, crazy, because it's like, that's not you. We know that's not you. That you haven't been delivering this way all this time, and now all of a sudden you're trying to do this new thing. It's not going to work.
I just feel like people don't. There's no longer a I don't know when it stopped, but for a very long time, you could go way back in the day when we're talking about triple threat. That was the way that you was able to get on. You could not get on in any capacity in any field, whether we're talking about rap, actors, singers, dancers, whoever. Dancers had to act. Actors had to sing. Like there was a period of time where you had to be talented, and if you was just if you was just a single threat, or if you was just a double threat, you sat your happy ass in your house somewhere watching all of the triple and quadruple threats out there becoming celebrity status. Now we have anybody coming out here. Oh, I'm an actress. Are you an actress? Yeah, I'm transitioning to acting. Okay, tell me what the diameter is. Give me the first lines of Macbeth. Do something other than just Barry. Meanwhile, I'm sitting at home. When shall we three meet again in thunder, lightning, or in rain? When the hurliest burly is done, when the battle is lost and won, at we'll be there at the set of the sun. Like, it's like, come on, like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not an actress. Like, who you fooling?
Everybody can't act. I think a lot of them
backwards.
And that's what I said in the beginning. Everybody's so in nowadays, everybody is so fucking microwavable. You listen, when one is done, another one comes. When one is done, another one comes. Just a microwavable ass bunch of non-talented assholes. And
they make it look so easy, and it don't even be a great job. I'm like, what?
Okay, I have a question, y'all. Hey, y'all.
Hold on before you take us to the next one. A reckless.
Okay.
This is why I like. This is why I'm like. I think Nicki and Remy need to shut the fuck up. That's why I brought up J-Lo and the Ashanti analogy, because I'm like, you girls are gifted at writing and executing your writing, but y'all are not. They're not entertainers. Meanwhile, it's not entertainer to me. Like, I'm not entertained by her presence. I'm only entertained by Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj knows she's not really an entertainer. That's why she relies on the gadget and the over the top bullshit and all the pyros, and she has to overdo it all because she got to make up for what she
can't do.
Yeah, for what she can't do. And so I'm just like, fair is fair. Y'all are gifted, but like, y'all are gifted in one capacity, and some of these other people who y'all won't give credit to y'all are trying to discredit their talent because they're not talented in the way you are, but you're also not talented in the way that some of these girls are talented.
Queen Latifah is a great actor.
And no shade, out of anybody, I feel like Cardi's not Cardi. I feel like Megan Thee Stallion is the only rapper to really give choreo. Other than Salt and Pepper, because Salt and Pepper in their heyday was like really, really good with the choreography.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, for nowadays, is Megan Thee Stallion. Like,
and see, I've never got Megan, like Nicki Minaj and Remy cannot give a Megan on choreo.
They cannot. No.
Yeah, they
not
can't
choreography.
do it.
No.
Yeah,
when it comes to choreography, I'm gonna stand with Missy Elliott all the way.
Okay, I have a question, y'all, because I had to fix my connection because girl, a lot was going on behind the scenes. So what we talking about?
Okay.
Everything.
Well, what we about to be talking about is one of your favorite people, and before I introduced her, I gotta hold on. I don't know why these right here they just give me like Notorious KIM vibes. I gotta put on my shells. I want to get into Miss Kimberly motherfucking Jones because, and I'm talking about, I want to get into her in such a way that I'm almost willing to end this live and restart a new one and dedicate it to her because I just feel like I want to really I want to like graveyard dig into what is up with Kim. Like I want to,
better grab a seat, grab on your dick as this bitch get deep. Deeping in the pussy as this bitch deep. This dick's still sweet in this little petite.
Aaron, hush.
I'm sorry.
we because see, we already done been here for 2 hours, and I feel like I don't even want to put this little Kim commentary on the end of this because some people may not even
don't do
hear it. So I'm like,
do it.
I want to restart a new live and get to Kim. Do y'all want to do that? Are y'all okay with doing that?
I'm okay.
Okay.
She deserves it.
Okay, cool. So
let's give her her flowers. Let's give her her flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, but we're gonna give her her. Okay, we can give her her flowers. We can give her a bloody heel upside the head too.
Try to get some more understanding with Kim.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So we're gonna wrap this live, you guys. Give me about 5 minutes. Let me create another stream, and then we're going to get into some little Kim dialogue as well. Okay, so we'll be right back. Keep your notifications on. If y'all don't get them, y'all know that we about to be right back. So just keep coming back to the page to see that I'm live. We'll be live in about 5 minutes. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember said you would die for me? Shit. All of that was just lies to me.
Yeah, I'm home now, so bitch, I'm ready to cut up.
Okay, all right, let's get to it then. Bye.
Bye.